Thanks for joining us. So if you followed with us so far, we've introduced this series by talking about internally, why can't we get to the field more often? Why can't we be spending our time in the way that we all want to be learning and training and mentoring? And that is getting out, seeing real solutions in the field, real outcomes, and talking about that and seeing that and see how things go together. All of us, unless we come from a background of being in the field, we don't have enough time in the field. We're not spending that time where we need to be. And we all know we should be there. So why aren't we getting there? Well, for the most part, it's because when we train, we are bogged down in the fundamentals. We spend our time in our conference rooms, in our cubes, on Teams meetings, going over basics, spending time and time on basics. And we don't have enough time to get to that more intermediate and advanced levels. And we know this because even environments and larger companies where we have formal cyclical training, we're still spending the once a month on training on a lunch and learn talking about basics. We're talking about sprinkler spacing. We're talking about hazards. We're talking about the basic stuff. Things that in an ideal world, we would be spending talking about our projects, our issues, our specific organizational challenges. And the way that we can get there and be way more productive and internally, when we spend that time internally, we want to spend the same amount of time that we're doing now. Let's get better use out of that. Well, if we go to a job site, we can get better use out of it. But even if we don't, even if we're spending Friday at lunch and we've got an hour of training, what's the best way to be in the office and learning? Well, let's pull jobs that just went out and talk about peer assessments, defend the design, what's good, what's bad. If it's a plan review, what did you check for? What did you challenge? What were the things that were wrong that you have friction with? What ideas can we share about that process that where we can all be benefiting from each other? Let's say you're voluntold that you need to deliver a presentation on a basic training for the team, and it's supposed to be in 4 weeks. Okay, great. What happens? Even if you don't procrastinate, you're probably waiting 2.5, 3 weeks before you open up a PowerPoint, a series of blank slides. Maybe you got lucky and pulled from somebody's presentation a while back, but you have a handful of code snippets, a handful of images off Google, and you roll with it. Well, what's that experience like? What's the engagement level like? Is it really good use of your time where you could have productivity doing other things? What's the outcome? We all know what the outcome is. We've been there. Maybe somebody's picking up on something from that learning environment, but let's just say like it's less than ideal. That might be a nice way to put it. What if instead of that whole way that we tend to operate in industry, what if instead of that, each person individually is learning what they need to be learning in an engaging, visual, fast-paced learning environment online on their own time? So if somebody's got a Tuesday morning open and somebody's got a Wednesday at lunch and somebody's got a Thursday afternoon, great. They're learning at their own pace, on their own time. They're revisiting the topics they need to. And then instead of that training, that one person had a bunch of prep time to develop and they deliver, and maybe it's less than an ideal outcome. What if that time together is spent going over an actual project on that topic? So you learn the fundamentals over here. You learn strobe spacing. You learn speaker intelligibility. You learn layout over here. And now when we're together, we're collaborating on a real project, looking at reviewing or designing or whatever that process is. We're looking at real projects and real examples that just went out last week or that just came through the door this week. You can have peer-to-peer learning. You can collaborate. You can ask great questions. You can go high level. But we're taking the burden of that fundamental learning for these basic topics, and we're getting that up and out of the way. In an ideal world, it would be very inexpensive, very effective, very fast, and on demand. You'd learn when you want to learn at your own pace. Great, that's off our shoulders. We are spending the time internally with very little prep, with really, really high maximum outcomes. It's engaging, it's learning, we're inquisitive, we're collaborating, we're sharing knowledge in a real productive way that requires very little prep. And if it's not workshopping, maybe it's getting to the job sites and talking and walking on the job sites on those jobs. Those two ways, just workshopping together and spending time in the field, are easily the best ways that we could be learning and collaborating internally. But we don't do that. And why? It's because we get bogged down in the time teaching the fundamentals. We come back to, we are spending too much time, too much effort, it's too much hassle, that if we're teaching, we're in the fundamentals, we're not getting beyond that. That's what we need to get beyond. So I'm not much for a big pitch. I'm really passionate about what we do with MeyerFire University and what we've created. So I'll save you the sales pitch and just say that we created the university so that we can have a platform where we're all benefiting from that investment and all of this variety of fundamental content, but we're paying a fraction of the price because the model supports a lower cost option. We believe in very impactful and engaging learning environments. So if we can produce a one-page PDF that gets you where you need to go, maybe it's a code write-up, maybe it's a code path, maybe it's a diagram, maybe it's a flow chart. We want to create that. We want you to be productive immediately with the content. If it's introduction to a new concept, well, we've got highly engaging videos. We've produced over 3,000 illustrations to date just for the university content to show visually what it is that we need to know for the industry. And if it's a skill, then we want to develop that in our virtual learning environments. So think of learning more in terms of video gaming experience as opposed to watching PowerPoint. We want the material to be really impactful and that you're able to get off the ground as fast as you can go. So we really, truly believe in that. That's why I started MeyerFire University to begin with, was the ask for help in getting new learners off the ground as fast as possible. Of course, we want to make it fun. We want to make it engaging. We want it fun for us to teach. We want it fun for us to learn. We built it because this is honestly like what we wanted for ourselves. And that's why the platform is the way that it is. If you're an ISET, you can get CPD credits. If you're PE licensed, you can get ICC credits. If you're CFPS, plan review, we're accredited by both an ISET and the ICC. So as far as the sales pitch goes, we started MeyerFire University because it's how we wanted to learn. It's the kinds of things we wanted to learn. It's the way that we wanted to learn. We wanted to do something that's highly engaging, but it's cost effective. And so we built a platform that takes advantage of everybody benefiting from that engaging, fast moving, highly visual learning, but at a cost that's very affordable. So a few things about the prices there. If you join, we lock in your rate and won't raise it. Whenever you join, that's your lock-in rate. And the other thing is that we give a 20% discount for renewals. So second year and on, you renew with us, we'll give you that discount and basically say thank you for reinvesting in us and continuing to learn and grow and use the tools. And then the last thing is we built this for ourselves. We really believe this is the best way that we can get that fundamental band of learning at an affordable level. So it's fully guaranteed. If it's not a fit for you, any reason or no reason at all, you'll get a full refund, no problem. You can get more information about all of that and see some samples of videos, samples of PDFs, and samples of our virtual simulations over at MeyerFireUniversity.com. So thanks for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Please leave some feedback. My kids always say like and subscribe, so I guess like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much.